Hip hop got introduced to the world through you, right? And your group.
Yes. Yep. Mike, Hank, and myself. Yes.
Right. So this is what I want to ask.
Okay. Good. This is good. It seems like
when
it's going to be a good question.
When hip hop first started,
yes,
everybody rapped the same. It was a long phrase, and then it was a phrase, and then you had a word at the end that would rhyme the phrase.
Yes.
For example, it would be some, and I go to the mall.
Right.
I got a Holy so I can see the Knicks play basketball.
True.
Everybody rapped like that.
That was the day. That was the deal.
And then it shortened.
Yes.
And I never knew who shortened up the phrases because once once Melly came in, it was broken glass everywhere.
Right.
People pissing on the stage, and and then Run DMC was 2 years ago. A friend of mine, So once it changed, it really changed.
Yes, it shifted totally.
Who was the first person that you can remember
that I can remember
that shortened up the phrasing in hip hop?
I'm gonna say Running Them. I'm gonna go with Running Them. Yeah, because like you said, you got to think of course, Mike and Hank and myself. We were doing that. We were doing the long sentences.
Right.
The last word rhymed with every sentence line, and that was what it was. And so that situation was not only in our camp. Ja and them was doing it. Curtis was doing it. Mel and them was doing it. But it got so as it transferred and it got more into because the other thing also is that it was very musical. There's a lot of chords and a lot in horn sections. And as it started breaking down to just beats, it became a lot more primitively funky.
Right.
And I think
Running Them stripped the music out totally.
Yes. That's when I knew it was changing. So for me, if you're asking me, I think when they did that, when they took it from, we had the big production songs, strings and all this kind of thing, and they stripped it down
just drums and
Larry Smith, shout out to Larry.
Yes.
When they stripped it down to that, I think that's what motivated the lyrical cadence to change.
That's so crazy to me because I remember watching something and I can't remember what it was. It might have been like Hip Hop Evolution or something.
Yeah, we did that.
And
we did
when the cadences changed, I remember seeing something where Mel was like, man, that shit ain't gonna never work.
That sounded like Mel.
And this was the early 80s. Yeah. Mel was like, man, that shit ain't gonna never work. Nobody wanna hear that shit.
That's Mel.
It's so crazy to me because I think about some of the times I think about like all of the things that were game changing that we didn't know that would be game changing. And then some of the things that were just like people didn't see it coming, so it was almost like a mistake.
Yes.
It was like the perfect mistake.
It was
the beautiful accident.
Yes, the perfect storm.
And it
just kind of dropped on the situation.
It's a BBC documentary where they go to LL Cool J's house. It's on YouTube. You can look it up.
That's a Big Fun.
Cool
Big
J,
Fun. That's the Big Fun, right? Yeah.
And LL Cool J is walking down the street with this UK interviewer and E-Love, and he's talking. He's like, he's like, what does LL stand for? Long ladies love legends. LL's doing this thing. He's 16 years old, and they asked LL. They said, well, how come you don't rap about a lot of the things, because the message had just popped.
Right.
So they were like, how come you don't want to rap about a lot of the things that are going on in your neighborhood and in the community and some of the the things that are happening in the inner cities that aren't so glamorous and da-da-da. And LL looked directly at the camera and said, man, don't nobody want to hear how bad shit is. And I was like, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because once the message happened,
that was it.
It changed again.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
So that's crazy. So Run DMC, you were credited for shortening up the cadence.
From my perspective. So yes.